has the same size screen as the Galaxy S4 at 5 inches, so it's just a little bit smaller than the S5, as you can see. And as well, similar side by side, the Nexus 5 is just a bit thicker at 0.34 inches. So next up, we have the HTC One M7, which is the first generation of HTC One, not the brand new device. The HTC One screen is only 4.7 inches, and while it might look closer in size than that, it's just because the device has pretty wide black bezels on the side of the device, along with physical buttons on the bottom. And it's actually significantly thicker at 0.37 inches. And lastly, we have the iPhone 5. So this device obviously looks absolutely tiny in comparison to the S5. The screen size is only 4 inches, but actually in terms of thickness, it's pretty interesting. The iPhone 5 is thinner than the S5 at 0.30 inches. So that's pretty interesting to note. So these devices are arranged largest to smallest, and hopefully this comparison will just give you a bit of a better understanding of how the physical size of the S5 matches up with some other heavy hitters on the Ting lineup. So as the device boots up, you can clearly see that it's powered by Android. I think we're first just going to take a look at some of the physical aspects of the device. On the bottom of the front, we have the home button, which is cleverly also the fingerprint scanner. At the top of the front is a 2.1 megapixel camera for video chatting and selfies. On the top of the device, we have a headphone jack, along with an IR button. And the very bottom holds the USB 3.0 port, which has a waterproof cover on top. It's pretty hard to open, so I'm actually going to use a SIM card ejector to help me out. But this really is one of the coolest features about the S5, and that's that it's fully waterproof for 30 minutes in up to 1 meter of water. In terms of charging, you can actually still use a regular micro USB cable on the right side, or you can use the USB 3.0 that will come with your device, which actually will be faster. But obviously remember that before you teeter on the edge of a pool or head outside in a hurricane, make sure that bottom port is completely closed. The auxiliary port, however, does not need to be covered. Samsung has actually added a coating inside to keep your S5 waterproof. Next, I'll show you the physical buttons. On the right side is the power, aka sleep button. On the left side is the volume rocker, very standard. We'll flip it over, and really the first thing you'll notice about the back is that it's very textured with mini dots. It's kind of leather-like, kind of feels similar to the first generation Nexus 7. The rear camera is a 16 megapixel beast, which can actually shoot 4K resolution video. You actually can't even watch that on your device, but there is certain TVs that do support that resolution. And just below the camera is the flash, along with the heart rate monitor, which works with Samsung's S Health app. That's a new feature of the S5. And I guess the back in general really does feel leather-like. It's grippy and it's nice, but unfortunately it is kind of flimsy. I will take it off for you now. I know a lot of people actually do like this because a plastic back can't easily smash, but at the same time, obviously, it makes your device maybe feel or look a little cheaper than, say, an HTC One or iPhone. But I know it has its benefits, and a lot of people do like it. And on the back of the device, on the inside, is the battery, and above that, the micro SD card slot, which can fit up to an extra 128 gigabytes of storage. And that's about it. Like I said before, you just need to make sure to fully close the back of the device by clamping all the clips down, or else your device will not be waterproof. And I really think the overall design